Young ladies and gentlemen, greetings from your respective positions. Once again, you are welcome here on the Awakening of Consciousness platform. It's making headlines in Western media, particularly French media. Yes, right from the start, I ask you to begin by sharing this video conference in support of Niger. Yes, France is unmasked, completely unmasked. Niger has just opened its own refinery, meaning that gold will be processed on site. Shocked, overwhelmed, confused, France says that the company with which Niger partnered to open its own refinery, the CEO of this company is a dangerous person. Niger should not have definitely signed this agreement with this man. It's laughable. I ask you to share this video conference and thank you for watching it until the end. You will understand how and by what strategy France has always continued to sow disorder within our different states. Ladies and gentlemen, it's simply surreal. These statements made by France. We are talking about Niger. You know, they said that when they leave Niger, Niger will no longer find itself. That's what they said. Today they have plundered Niger so much. Today Niger is finding its way again. The pipelines are working, meaning the oil is flowing. Then here is the refinery that Niger is opening. Yet they shouted from the rooftops here that the military in power only think about their own interests. They do not think about the interests of others. They do not think about the interests of the people. This transition, these military in power, when they take good actions, instead of appreciating, they do not appreciate to open their eyes. They find very dangerous communication methods to discourage the people of Niger, to confuse them. And that's why we come out to speak the truth here on the platform of Awakening Consciousness to awaken. And that's why the video needs to be shared as widely as possible so that all Nigerians can see it. Please share it in all the groups in Niger. Yes. So let's delve deeper. First, the headline that is put out by Western media, French media, they say that Niger is partnering with a controversial Kenyan businessman to open its first gold refinery. A controversial businessman. They are not happy. The very good news that Niger has just received, they turn it into bad news. So, it reads, want to create a joint venture to open a gold refinery and a jewelry manufacturing plant in Niger. The Nigerian government signed a partnership agreement this week with Kamlesh Patni, the head of Suvarna Royal Gold Trading, registered in Dubai, a partner whose identity and pedigree raised many criticisms in the country. Who is talking about this in the country? Who? Impossible. The Nigerians are happy. Which African country doesn't want its raw materials to be processed locally? There isn't one. Even in our country, in the Republic of Guinea, our bauxite that is transported every day that God makes, when I see the train pass, my heart bleeds. We want it to be processed in our country. So, if Niger had the opportunity to partner with a structure to process locally, where is the problem? The Nigerian authorities will be there to oversee. We don't need that man's involvement. Whether that man has legal issues or not, we don't need it. The essential thing is that it happens in our country, in Niger. We have the right to verify and see everything that happens. So, France wanted to be the one to have the contract. That's what France wanted. And it's because, don't forget, dear Nigerians, it's because Niger expelled Orano, the largest French company operating in the mining and uranium sector. So, they are forced to cast discredit and condemnation on about the new companies with which Niger will collaborate. That's the strategy. And in Niger, they have their representatives. Those who claim to be the opposition are funded by France to relay what France says there. So, don't even rely on what people are saying. On the contrary, we should congratulate and encourage General Abdurrahman Tchiani. We need to encourage him, thank him. Yes, but because he is a positive man who thinks about the nation's well-being. It would have been other presidents. Since Niger has been Niger, have we ever seen a refinery owned by Niger being installed? The answer is no. The Mohammed Bazoums preferred that it be exported. When it is exported, if 100 is exported, 100 kilograms, they declare 80. He also declares 30. But when it's local, it's hard to scheme. That's what France wants, to keep seeing us in suffering. So, France is not happy at all. France says this. It says, the signing of a partnership with the associate Survana Royal Gold Trading of the Kenyan businessman Patni, with the aim of opening the country's first gold refinery. But while the Ministry of Mines hails a project of structural revolution for the benefit of Nigerians, which should enhance the gold sector, several voices are also raised to denounce a dangerous agreement for Niger's international credibility. Several voices are raised. Which voice is it? It's the voice of France. Then, he continues, he says this, the head of the company in question, Kamesh Patni, indeed carries a notorious reputation. Since last December, he has been subject to sanctions in the United States and the United Kingdom for his involvement in an illicit gold trade case in Zimbabwe. According to the U.S. Department of the Treasury, the fraudulent scheme he put in place deprived Zimbabwean citizens of the benefits of natural revenues, while enriching corrupt and criminal officials. In short, this is the argument that France presents. Ladies and gentlemen, the Nigerian authorities are not fooled. No. France wants to explain that. The opening of this refinery will not benefit the Nigerians, but only those in power and the officials. As they say, just like it happened in Zimbabwe. But you will see with your own eyes what will happen in Niger, since Tchiani wants the happiness of the people. And so, dear ladies and gentlemen, that was the international news headline. Thank you for sharing it as much as possible. I will be back shortly with more news. This was the voice of your humble servant, Robert Théa.